Hi, my name is Steven, and I'd say my favorite part of the challenge would probably be the discussions we're able to have. We can really build on just the memory work and everything that we're able to do. You know, you're able to go farther than that. So, my speech is one by Charlton Heston. He was a famous actor, and after his acting career, he was a social and political activist for many years, as well as being the president of the NRA during the 1990s. Dedicating the memorial at Gettysburg, Abraham Lincoln said of America, "We are now engaged in a great civil war, testing whether this nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated can long endure." These words are true again. I believe we are again engaged in a great civil war, a cultural war, which is about to hijack your birthright to think and say what lives in your heart. I fear you no longer trust the pulsing lifeblood of liberty inside you, the same stuff that made this country rise from wilderness into the miracle that it is today. I've come to understand that a cultural war is raging across our land, in which, with Orwellian fervor, certain acceptable thoughts and speech are mandated. For example, I marched with Dr. King for civil rights in 1963, long before Hollywood found it fashionable. But last year when I told the audience that white pride is just as valid as black pride or red pride or anyone else's pride, they called me a racist. I've worked with brilliantly talented homosexuals all my life. But when I said that gay rights should go no further than your rights or my rights, I was called a homophobe. I fought against the Axis powers in World War II. But during the speech when I gave a comparison to singling out innocent Jews and singling out innocent gun owners, I was called an anti-Semite. Everyone I know knows that I would never raise a closed fist against my country. But when I told the audience to stand up to this cultural persecution, I was compared to Timothy McVeigh. From Time magazine to friends and colleagues, they all asked me the same thing. "Chuck, how dare you speak your mind like this? You're using language not authorized for public consumption." But I'm not worried. If Americans really believed in political correctness, we would still be King George's boys, subjects bound to the British crown. In his book, The End of Sanity, Martin Gross writes that blatantly irrational behavior is rapidly being established as the norm in almost every aspect of human endeavor. There seem to be new rules, new anti-intellectual theories, foisted upon us daily from almost every direction. Underneath, the nation is roiling. Americans know that something without a name is undermining the country and turning the mind mushy when it comes to separating truth from falsehood and right from wrong. And they don't like it. What does this mean? It means that telling us what to think has evolved to telling us what to say. So telling us what to do can't be far behind. And before you claim to be a champion of free thought, let me ask you, why did political correctness originate on America's campuses? And why have you continued to tolerate it? Why do you, who are supposed to debate ideas, surrender to their suppression? Let's be honest. Who here thinks their professor can say what they really believe? It scares me to death, and it should scare you too. The halls of reason are ruled by the superstition of political correctness. You are the best and brightest. You, here in the fertile cradle of American academia, on the banks of the Charles River in the castle of learning. You are the cream. But I submit to you that you and your counterparts across the land are the most politically silenced and socially conformed generation since Concord Bridge. And as long as you validate this and abide it, you are, by your grandfather's standards, cowards. Who will defend the core value of American academia if you supposed soldiers of free thought lay down your arms and plead, "Don't shoot me"? If you talk about race, it doesn't make you a racist. If you think critically about a denomination, it does not make you anti-religion. If you see a distinction between genders, it doesn't make you sexist. And if you accept, but don't support homosexuality, it doesn't make you a homophobe. But what can you do? How can anyone prevail against such pervasive social subjugation? The answer has been here all along. I learned it 36 years ago, on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, standing with Martin Luther King and over 200,000 people. You simply disobey. Peacefully? Yes. Respectfully? Of course. Nonviolently? Absolutely. But when told how to think, or what to say, or how to behave, we don't. We disobey social protocol, which stigmatizes and stifles personal freedom. I learned the awesome power of disobedience from from Dr. King. I learned it from Gandhi, and Thoreau, and Jesus, and every other great man who has led those in the right against those with the might. Disobedience is in our DNA. We feel innate kinship with that disobedient spirit that tossed you into Boston Harbor, or that sent the roast jail, or that refused to sit at the back of the bus, or protested the Vietnam War. In that same spirit, I'm asking you to disavow cultural correctness with a massive disobedience to rogue authority, onerous laws, and social directives which stifle and weaken personal freedom. But be careful. It hurts. Disobedience demands that you put yourself at risk. Dr. King stood on lots of balconies. You must be willing to endure discomfort. I'm not complaining, but my own decades of social activism have left their mark on me. You must be willing to endure the equivalent of the police dogs at Montgomery or the water cannons at Selma. So that this nation may long endure, I urge you to follow in the hallowed footsteps of the disobedience of history that freed exiles, founded religions, defeated tyrants, and yes, in the hands of an aroused rabble in arms, and a few great men, by God's grace, built this nation. If Dr. King were here, I think he would agree. Thank you.